Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do like a mini haul slash wear test of the products I got from Mecca Maxima. And I've got the bag right here. So I recently purchased the Mecca Maxima's house brand called Mecca Max, which is like a revamp of their Mecca Cosmetica makeup line. So I'm really excited, and I only picked 4 base products since I didn't really like the eyeshadows that they had, and also like the lipsticks. I feel like I've already had most of the shades that I would normally wear from other brands, so I just strictly stick on base products. Now the first one that I purchased is this Life Proof Longwear Foundation, and I'm in the shade Caramel. Now this is funny because I feel like this looks a little bit darker than my skin tone, and this is also the darkest. So this foundation comes in 30 mils of product. The packaging comes in this thick acrylic, and it has that suction technology thingy where you don't waste the product. So technically it has that pump where whenever the foundation is being used, there's like a thingy that pushes all the products so you don't waste anything. Kind of like the same concept as the Kat Von D packaging. And this foundation claims to leave a super staying power with creamy buildable coverage and a skin filter satin finish. So technically this is not fully matte, it has a satin finish, but I don't really mind that because I've been loving the glow. So on the website it has 8 shades, and Caramel is the darkest. I was actually switching in between Honey, which is the shade up, and Caramel, but I decided to just pick this because it has the most golden undertone, whereas the rest has got more of like a olive neutral undertone. So that's the first thing that I got, and this one retails for $35, which I think is pretty reasonable. The next thing I got is this Life Proof Cream Concealer, and this is in the shade Sand. And for the concealer, I think they have 6 shades, and this is second to the darkest, and it has the most yellow undertone. And this one retails for $24. They actually have 5 shades. So this is second to the darkest, and this is in Sand. And same concept as the foundation. It says to have a full coverage ultra creamy concealer which erases any spots, bumps, redness or darkness while remaining virtually undetectable. So I'm guessing this is more of like the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, if I may say so, but that's the one I got. So I got the one that is quite light because my foundation is already dark, so I figured a lighter concealer will make it tone it down a little bit. And last 2 things are these face powders. Now I got the wet and dry powder foundation, and they have 3 shades of this, and this is in the shade medium. Packaging is so pretty, and this is what it looks like. So it has more of like a yellow golden undertone, which I really love. It has a huge mirror, and the packaging is actually really sturdy. And this one is called Blur Veil Wet and Dry Powder Foundation, which has a super skin filtering foundation powder which makes for a luminous, blemish-free finish, lightweight and ladylike. You can apply it with either a damp sponge or a powder brush. And the last thing I got is the highlight, and they have 3 shades of highlighter as well. And look at the packaging of this. It's so unique and pretty and luxe. So this one is in the shade Solid Gold, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a champagne gold, but because the one, they had 3 shades, so they had white gold, solid gold, and rose gold. So this is what I picked up, and that's what it looks like. If you could see, it has like a really nice sheen to it, which is pretty cool. Now, I did not pick up any bronzer, even though that's like the one of the products that has been raved the most. But when I swatched it, it has a little bit of sheen to it, and like looking at my face right now, I have a lot of textures, I have oily skin, so I passed on that because I'm more of a matte bronzer lover as opposed to like a luminous bronzer. So yeah, I will put this product to the test and I will wear them throughout the day, and I will share with you my thoughts. Without further ado, let's hop right into the application. I've already primed my face with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner because I always prime my face, and I love that this foundation has got a pump, so I will pump probably that much. So as you can see, it looks a little bit dark and orange looking, but I'm telling you, it is one of the only shades that has the most golden undertone, which sucks. But so I'm gonna put a little bit of my LA Girl Pro Coverage in white, and this is like a foundation liner, and this does not disrupt the formula of your foundation, so I'll probably put like that much. It made it a little bit lighter and kind of like my color, so I probably put a pump and a half. On this side of my face, I'm going to use a buffing brush. It has like a clean scent to it, which I like because I get nauseous whenever I apply foundation that has a really strong scent. It kind of looks a bit orange on my skin, but that's my fault because I picked the wrong shade. I could have gone and bought another shade to mix with it, but I'm not really all about that life. Coverage wise, with a brush, I like how it covered my imperfections on the side, and also even out the skin. It's blendable, but it has a stick to it, so it's a little bit too thick and creamy for me, that once it's set, it's kind of hard to blend. But overall, I kind of like it, and it does have like a satin finish. So on this side of my face, I'm going to use a damp sponge. Using a sponge, it definitely sheared out the coverage, and personally, I kind of like the finish it gives using the sponge because it makes it more skin-like and not heavy. Like, I like the coverage it gives using a brush, but you could definitely tell that I'm wearing a foundation. So I'm just gonna even both out. This is why on my reviews I usually just go for a sponge, because that's what I normally use on a daily basis. I used to be a brush lover, but I just love the sponge because it's quick and it's easy. So it is a little bit orange, but luckily we had a lighter concealer, so we will fix that. So I'm just trying to focus on my blemish right there. I'm not gonna put too much because we have a powder foundation, so I will see if this one works. I probably put 2 pumps in total on my face, and the color is not the best. It feels very lightweight to the skin. It's a little bit sticky, but other than that, it's a pretty good foundation for $35. Now moving on to the concealer. This is the Life Proof Cream Concealer, and you get, doesn't say how much product you get, but that's what it looks like. So I'm going to use this to conceal my dark circles and highlight. The doe foot applicator is so dinky that I find that you have to constantly dip into the product to get the most out of it. I like the tone of this shade. It's creamy, but it's sort of thin in consistency, though it kind of reminds me of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I quite like the concealer. The only downside is that you have to constantly dip into the tube to get more product since the applicator is so small. It blends real easy. It brightened my under eye, but it didn't necessarily conceal my dark circle, like you could still see it on that part there. I'll just go with a little bit more in the inner part, because that's where I get the most darkness. They have another powder that I wanted to get, but they didn't have it in stock. I will just quickly set my under eye and then finish off my eyes, and then I will come back and set the rest of my face with the powder foundation. Now that my makeup is done, I'm excited to try the powder. So I will just use my powder brush and slightly dip to that and kind of like just powder the areas where I need coverage. And I find that it looks a little bit orange on my skin. That's the powder right there. I will probably use this more on like a no makeup days, but as for now, I didn't really do much. And for the highlight, I am going to use my Real Techniques brush and kind of just highlight the high points on my face. Now, this is a highlight. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Now that's a highlight. I may have overdone the other side. I think I overdid it. That highlight though. And I didn't even have any bronzer or blush or anything like that. Let's try it in the inner corner. Oh, this is so pretty in the eyes. Well, now, I don't even think that I need to bronze or put anything on my cheek because it kind of defined my cheeks already since I put the concealer underneath. The time currently is 11:11. Oh, I didn't even show you. So it's 11:11. I have a brow appointment, so I'm just gonna take off my brows before I head out. Hello beautiful people, I'm back. The time now is 2:15 and it has been 3 hours since the last time I wore this foundation, and I literally just got home. I went for a walk for about 2 hours and a bit because I had a brow appointment, and it's such a good day today to miss out on the weather. So let's check where we at with the foundation. So for 3 hours I'm definitely really shiny around the nose area. I find that my under eye is actually creasing and it looks quite dry, which is strange, and I could definitely see the lines. So what I'm gonna do is block with a sponge. The under eye area is not very good. It's definitely creased and it looks cakey, which I don't typically like. Though the rest of my face is still pretty good. Coverage is still there, though it kind of wore off on this side right here. And everywhere else is fine. I don't have like foundation gathering along these lines. So I will probably try and fix my forehead with the powder foundation. Highlight is still there. You could still see the highlight, which I love. And then my nose highlight is still there. So that's pretty good. 3 hours in and I got quite a while to go. So I will check back with you at the end of the day to let you know my final thoughts. Hi beautiful people, so it's the end of the day and the time now is 9:05. So I've been wearing this foundation for about 10 hours and I've touched up once, which was the second check-in that I did. So let's have a look at my face. Looking at the monitor, I'm definitely very oily. So I'm oily on these areas right here and in my forehead. Surprisingly, the highlight is still there. The coverage is kind of gone on this side of my face. You could clearly tell my scarring and around my chin as well. The foundation kind of broke apart around this area, which I tend to get very oily. The concealer has creased really badly and my under eyes look so dry. And overall, I'm not loving this foundation. I'm not hating it as well. Like, I could see myself wearing it again. The highlighter though, I really like. So I will try to blot the oily spots with my sponge. So that's looking a lot better except for the under eyes. So overall, I would rate this foundation a 6 out of 10. I like the packaging. I like the way it feels on my skin. I also like the fact that it is easy to blend and the coverage is pretty decent. My only complaint is that they don't have a wide range. And the undertone goes from neutral to olive and less golden. Concealer, I really want to love this. First and foremost, the doe foot applicator. It's so tiny. I have to constantly dip back and forth to apply product underneath my eyes. The consistency is quite thin and creamy. It didn't really cover my dark circles, which is a bummer because it claimed that it's supposed to cover anything on the face, and it's quite drying, honestly. As for the powder, I didn't really try this that much because I find that since I have darker shade of the foundation and then the powder runs a tad bit orange on my skin, like it looks lighter in here, but then on the face it kind of add a tinge of orange on my face. So I didn't really try this, but I feel like this will be a great setting powder if I have that no makeup day. And out of the 4 products, I really love the highlighter. This one is in solid gold. That's the swatch right there. As you can see, it's so pretty. It's not glittery, it's not very chunky. It looks more like a glow from within. As you can see, I still have a hint of it. The nose highlight definitely rubbed off, but I still have some in my inner corner. Overall, I feel like Mecca Max has nailed it when it comes to makeup products. 1, the price range is very affordable. 2, they have a lot of variety in terms of makeup, and it's entirely up to you which one to get. That wraps up my review / wear test on Mecca Max products that I purchased. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye!